Hi, beautiful, gorgeous souls. This is the weekly healing messages for June 10th through the 17th. But let me just say, it's so much more than just from the 10th through the 17th. I am Lady Stars on Fire. My real name is Michelle Espinosa. Now, I say it's the 10th through the 17th because it's the energies that I am really being given for the week that needs to be overcome. But Spirit is telling me, no, yeah, you're feeling it right for this week, but this is energies that you need to be observing, viewing, figuring out, and working on all the way until November. This more or less is about Neptune going retrograde. Now, the thing is we've had Neptune go retrograde before. That's not that big of a deal. Okay? I'm sorry, my outfit is getting caught. That's not such a big deal. I mean, we've dealt with that. But the thing is, what Spirit went back and had me look at and go look through in the astrology is with Lilith here at this time. That makes all the change. They say, Spirit says themselves, the world you know is about to change. Plain and simple. Everything that you are used to, what you know, is about to change. And it really is so when you start looking at the astrology. Because I will look at the astrology here at the end of the video. I'll kind of go over it a little bit because I'm mainly just going after what Spirit is giving me. That is the most important part here because I am an astrologer, but Spirit is directing me through this week and past this week, right on into, like, all the way until November. The thing is Neptune is going retrograde on the 21st, and until the 21st, it is in shadow. Neptune is, for all intents and purposes, where fantasy smacks you in the face with some harsh-ass reality. That's the way I always put it. I don't sugarcoat shit. I just say it the way that I see it or what is being given to me from Spirit. Now, with it being in shadow until the 21st, this whole month, we've been kind of looking at our magic in a negative point or a darker point or a mirror point. It's from shadow. So we're not fully seeing the true story. We're just seeing it from a darker aspect. Like I said, fantasy smacks you in the face with harsh reality, looking at it from a shadow point of view. But here's the key. Lilith happens to be in Pisces with Neptune at this time. Lilith hasn't been in Pisces since 2010 and 2011. So there are energies resonating with those 2 years, with the end of 2010 and 2011, especially for us who are older. If you're like in your 20s and maybe even in your 30s, that may not resonate quite as much. But there are situations that are replaying, at least resonating with the same form of energies that are helping you to understand. In 2010 and 2011, Lilith was moving through Pisces, but at that same time, Jupiter was in Pisces, and so was Uranus. You've got to understand, Jupiter was in Pisces, Uranus was in Pisces. They both were going through retrograde throughout this time of 2010 and 11 a little bit. You also had Chiron, and it was in and out and going back into Aquarius at this time. It was in retrograde as well. So was Neptune. None of them stayed in the sign with Lilith during this time, but you were going to be feeling things that are coming back to you from 2010, 2011 while we are in this Neptune retrograde. And the thing is, Neptune is actually speaking with the Lilith because they're coming closer together. Neptune will be in retrograde until November of this year. In retrograde, Neptune is looking at, I'm sorry, it's the way I'm holding my phone. Neptune, for all intents and purposes, is your inner sea god. It's like Poseidon. It's your inner sea god, and it's coming home to clean up some shit from your depths of your waters of your inner selves. okay? And I'm smelling chlorine everywhere because that's exactly what this is. It's a cleansing of emotions, cleansing of spirit, and setting it right. However, this is the key. With Lilith here, there's some trickery going on. And Neptune is trickery anyway. Neptune is illusion and delusion. It's where magic's created. You must understand, planets don't have a positive or a negative. You do. Your free will does. Your choices do. The planets don't. The planets just work as they work. And with Lilith in this area, she's your dark moon. She's your erotic, sexual, rebellious temptress. Coming in to Neptune, being in retrograde, speaking to your inner, dark, hidden illusions of self and how you create yourself for the positive or the negative. Like I said, it doesn't have a preference. Only what you choose to feed it has a preference. But the thing is Lilith as a sexual, erotic, dark temptress has the ability to fill you with the power, with creative energy, with creative feminine energy that is able to stand firm on her own, but she's also egotistical and able to take you into a complete different situation. She can easily become self-destructive and self-destructing for you. So this is a very powerful time for you to come to know yourself. What Spirit says to me is, this is the time to experience shamelessness. A lot of this problem that we have with Neptune is we're dealing with grief, we're dealing with sadness, we're dealing with secrets, we're dealing with shame. We're learning to come over that, to overcome that, I should say. Spirit asked me just, what kind of pig are you? See, that's a very intelligent question. Because Spirit gives me, hold on, I'm turning my notes here. I had so much stuff that Spirit was giving me. Spirit gives me the pig. The pig, as a spirit guide, is not necessarily dirty. Pigs play in the mud. Yes, they're lazy. Yes. But pigs are known as good luck. Pigs are known, yes, as laziness, but they don't worry about what other people think of them. They are lust. They are finances. They are fertility. They're intelligent. They bring abundance. And most importantly, they know their worth. It's not about self-righteousness, but it's about self-awareness. What kind of pig are you, is what they ask. Spirit does, as we're coming into this energy, and for this week from the 10th through the 17th, which there is a full moon. So this whole energy is leading up to that full moon, and there are challenges all week. We're also given the rooster for this week. It speaks to us of fixing and setting right past errors. But it's coming into our ability to start to realize what those errors are so we can fix them. How do we set it right? How do we get rid of the anxieties? How do we improve self-confidence? The rooster teaches us that it's okay to be confident in the spotlight. That we don't have to be depressed. We can live without fear and without judgment. Similar to the pig, but it doesn't want righteousness. The pig doesn't. See, I'm also asked about, like I said, I'm being, not asked, but I'm being told this is about a time of coming into experiencing shamelessness. To be shameless is an amazing thing. I mean, you don't have to be full of fear. You're able to just experience yourself in all of the abilities of who and what you are. And you're allowed to be proud of that. But shamelessness is also like Lilith and can easily turn into a self-destructive energy if you don't know how to balance it. See, what Spirit says to me is, we're coming into, and I've been saying this, we're learning how to get rid of our attachments. We're learning how to break our addictions. We're learning how to break our bad patterns. But how can we speak of being authentic if we can't experience authenticness? We can't experience authenticity, period. See, a lot of us think we understand what authenticity is. They think we know what our authentic self is. We think we're experiencing it, and Spirit's like, oh, but you're only touching the edge. You can't actually experience what you are until you're shameless enough to not worry about what you're not, because you've learned what you are. Spirit tells me that this energy, from now all the way until November, all the way through November, through this Neptune's retrograde, is about the sacral chakra. I say all the time that the sacral chakra is, for all intents and purposes, I call it your inner belly dancer. Some people aren't confident within themselves. Some people are overweight. Some people don't think that they are pretty. Some people, there's something wrong with every one of us, okay? Every one of us have reasons to be insecure. Every one of us have reasons to feel awkward about ourselves and our bodies, our personalities, our life. We have insecurities and we have fears. But see, the inner belly dancer has overcome that. The inner belly dancer is able to strut her shit, or his shit. This is what I'm being told. This whole next amount of time, starting now, all the way up until November, as we are working through this energy, is begging you to get on the right side of Neptune. It's begging you to get on the right side of Neptune's energy and its magic, not on Lilith's side. Past Lilith and get on the right side of Neptune, because it's asking you to get to know your sacral chakra. Your root chakra is your security, okay? It's your safety. But when we start to move up that chain of our chakras, our sacral chakra is our sexuality. Lilith is bringing in a whole new sexual spin to this. Great, yeah, I mean, it's going to bring an erotic side to it. But this is about being an erotic rebellion within yourself and of yourself by learning who the fuck you are on levels you've never experienced before. Because how can you have and stand in your true authenticity until you know how to be shameless within it? This is speaking about your sexuality and how you feel about yourself, how you carry yourself. How can you strut? How can you stand tall? How can you put your shoulders back and feel good about yourself? When you feel good about yourself, you have a pep in your step. When you feel good about yourself, your essence sends off an energy saying, I believe in me. I feel good about me. I'm secure with me. This is about learning how to get over those insecurities. This is about learning how to get over the awkwardness of the insecurities and the awkwardness that you just haven't learned how to place about yourself yet. This is about learning to get over the fears and getting that sacral chakra healthy, so that you are feeling good about yourself. You're feeling sexually comfortable with who you are. You're able to look in the mirror and be happy and smile and carry yourself with integrity and strength and tallness. Because once you're able to do that and truly start to heal that sacral chakra, all those chakras above will rise. How do you expect your solar plexus to actually be able to stand in the I can energy when your own sexual energy fights you about believing what you are capable of? Fights you of believing that you are good enough. Fights you of believing that you're pretty. Fights you of believing that you're a handsome man. Fights you of believing that you should feel good about yourself. You have to first learn how to feel good about yourself. Have your root chakra know that you're safe, you're secure. Teach yourself sexually that you are secure and safety within yourself. Stand tall, strut your stuff, know how to feel good about yourself shamelessly, and then start to move that right on up those chakras and into your solar plexus. How else are you going to get to I can energy and start cleaning yourself all the way up if you can't take care of that? That's what this energy is going to be about all the way until November. It's about building confidence and indulging in self. This isn't just about indulging in sexuality because of Lilith being here. I mean, sure, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, you should have a healthy sex life. But my point is you first have to love you. You first have to be comfortable with you and like you and indulge in your life, your security, your sexuality, your love of self. And then the rest of you will start to glow outwardly. And with that, will start to change and recalibrate your vibrations. That's really what this is coming down to. Recalibrating your vibrational frequencies. And as you recalibrate those vibrational frequencies, you are lifting into a higher frequency. And as you lift into that higher frequency, you are manifesting on a higher frequency. You are actually processing on a higher frequency. For those of you who have been following me for quite a while, you've heard me say from time to time, the cheetah speaks to me. I can't even explain how spirit does it, but cheetah speaks to me of changing our calibration, changing our vibrational frequency, changing our vibrational energy, changing the way our DNA shifts. It's about speed. It's about abundance. It's shifting the bad toxins out of the DNA so that you can rise to a higher vibration and have faith and hope and knowledge within yourself to know that you are worth it. Because if you don't think you're worth it, right off the bat, you might as well throw your manifestation out the door, because your abundance is growing in the wrong direction. What kind of pig are you? Is what Spirit says. This is about purification and balance. I wrote something I put on Facebook the other day. This energy is cleansing out through like Poseidon's energy, you know, the sea god of your own inner seas. And this is purification and balance. So if you are doing it right, you are not going to turn around and take this time into a self-sabotage, a self-destruction. When Neptune is in retrograde is the worst time to over-party. You have to know when is when, and you have to know when the truth is starting to turn into illusion. That's what this is about, inner balance and finding your true authenticity without self-destructive nature, without self-destructing in general. And as you do that, you start to shift your vibrational frequency with speed and abundance, is what Spirit says. They also say that through all of this next time, number 5, the frequency of number 5 is needed. It is the number of humanity, but it speaks to us of adaptability. It speaks to us of change for freedom, for curiosity, for adventure. And most of all, change for unattachment. You shouldn't be attached to anything. I'm trying to validate through my notes real fast. As I get into, I didn't do a rune cast this week. I haven't pulled, because I've been doing all of the homework family readings. I've been starting to put them out for the second part of June. I do apologize, I'm moving the phone around. I've been putting them out for the second part of June. So you can go ahead and check out my YouTube channel. I will be getting the rest of them out very shortly, and then I'll start on July. So half of them are already out. The other half I'll be getting out in the next day or so, or next few days. But they will be out by the 15th. So I did not pull cards and I did not go into the runes. I pretty much was just going with what Spirit was giving me for this week. But like I said, this energy is about building, and is about building your self-confidence, your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem by working through your sacral chakra. Coming into your sexuality of who you are, loving yourself, having confidence in yourself, glowing, because you can give that to you. And then bringing your abundance forward. But Lilith will start to mess with you, because she is the egotistical, erotic temptress. So she will push you to see if you will go overboard and actually start to self-destruct while you're going through this time. This is about healing and understanding. This whole week from the 10th through the 17th is about the full moon, and is about the energy growing up to that full moon. It's going to take place on the 17th, which is actually next week. It will be taking place on the 17th on Monday, and it's actually, I'm trying to find my notes, but it's actually a void, of course, from Sagittarius to Capricorn. Now, here's the thing. Don't forget Capricorn's energy right now has Pluto and Saturn in it. And don't forget, Saturn and Jupiter are still in retrograde. So they're inwardly talking to you too about your withholdings. Your withholdings, your investments, your limitations, your rules, walls, boundaries, and are they set in the right places? Especially within the outer community. This is about setting yourself right so that you can set your outer community right, and then create as you so see fit. This is a re-purification, a re-cleansing, and if you're doing it right, you'll come out clean on the other side. The full moon, like I said, is going to be taking place in Capricorn. So this is about setting a new foundation that starts now. By learning, getting closer to understanding the true authentic self. It's that simple. And here you go. We have a chain reaction. Well, in fact, I'll come back to that because that is at the end of the week. Let me just say, all week long, you have Mars, the North Node, and Mercury, which is in feminine energy, which is in Cancer. Okay? And it is in opposition with the South Node, Pluto, and Saturn in masculine energy in Capricorn all week long. And they are talking to Neptune. This whole week is begging you to get on the right side of Neptune and start healing yourself by acknowledging through those darker aspects what you need to start working on. So after the new moon, after the full moon, you can start working on healing yourself. That is really what this is. Your inner warrior, Mars, is, as far as I'm concerned, is your sacral chakra. It's your inner fire, your inner passion, your inner aggression, your inner action, your inner SWAT team, and your sexual energy. It is your sacral chakra, and it is speaking with Mercury, because it's there with Jera also, or Yura, however you want to pronounce it, which is sacrifice and commitment in Cancer, to the root of who and what you are, to the home that created you to be. You can't get away from this. And then it's in opposition with the outer community. It's in opposition with the outer community, with its withholdings, with its limitations, with its rules, walls, and boundaries, and how we set it again to serve us properly this time. And that's all week long. Now you have T-squares on top of T-squares on top of T-squares all week, but let me just tell you, they're telling you the same fucking thing that I just said. All week long. Just in different ways. It's saying the same thing. So see, it's really not important for me to really go over that. Because on the 11th, you have Lilith. Is it Lilith? No. In Libra, you have the Moon and Pallas speaking to Chiron, speaking to Mars, Mercury, and the North Node. Chiron's the wounded healer. Chiron is the relationships. Chiron is the wounded healer in your first house about starting something new. Libra is the 7th house of relationships, speaking to Pallas, your strategic thinking, and the Moon. And then going to Mars, Mercury, and the North Node, and Jera, and Cancer. What was I just saying? This is all about coming to a brand new beginning of understanding your sacral chakra and your understanding yourself and setting new boundaries through what needs to heal by learning what your old bad patterns were. You have, on the 12th, you have Libra and the Moon speaking to Saturn and Pluto. Then speaking to Mars, Mercury, and Cancer again. Almost the same conversation. On the 14th, you have a T-square of... No, you have a grand trine. A very positive day. On the 14th, you have a grand trine, all water, with Neptune in shadow, speaking to the Moon in Scorpio, speaking to Mars and Mercury. So it's a very positive day, if you're positive, because the Moon is in Scorpio, which means everything is amplified. If you're positive, you're going to amplify it into ooey gooey, soft and chewy, and yay. And if something's going wrong, it's going to be a positive answer of something that needs to change. On the 15th, you have a T-square of Lilith speaking to the Moon in Sagittarius with Ceres about what's too close to home. Karmic debts. Threefold. Your emotional depths. You hear the crows talking, don't you? And Venus. Sensitivity. This whole week is leading you to the full moon, which is going to take place in Capricorn on setting new foundations. And then it is going to be squaring Jupiter. Because you have to learn to listen to your higher self. You have to learn to get into the sacral chakra. You have to learn to start to realize what true authenticity is. It then is squaring Neptune, which then is trining Mars, which then is going back and squaring Saturn, and going right back to the Moon. You have oppositions all over the place, squares all over the place, T-squares. You have things set as obstacles just to see, honey, if you have the power to find and be you. So find yourself. Rebirth, because that's what this is all about. I love you. Hugs and kisses in the wind. Until next week. Also, please, 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 if you do like the videos, if you like the videos or any of the readings, I do the homework family readings for all zodiac signs from the 1st to the 15th, and then from the 15th to the last day of the month. They are called Homework Family. You can find them on my YouTube channel. There will be a link. You have to subscribe because I do not put it on Facebook. You have to go to YouTube for it. And if you also like the show we do each week, me and Hill Happy, called Otherland Dreams. Please subscribe any place podcasts are provided, because we speak about anything magical, spiritual, healing, and of source. So please check us out. Otherwise, we're live every Tuesday night at 10:30 live on fxbgpublicradio.com, or just subscribe any place that there is podcasters that you are enjoying subscribing from. Bye, folks. Love ya.